Good? What's good? Welcome to another dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm your humble and gracious host, Tone DeShields II. And as I always do, you guys, I got to start the show with gratitude. Say it with me, gratitude. I'm so grateful to be here in the presence of you guys. The content does not move without the people. Make sure you guys give yourselves a nice round of applause, a nice pat on your back, you guys. Today is a special day. Today is a special day because we managed together, of course, here at Chalk It Up Sports, we managed to supersede, to supplant, to pass 5,000 subscribers. Yes, we did it, you guys. We made it to the 5,000 subscriber mark. And it's been a long time coming. We put a lot of work in here at Chalk It Up Sports. We've invested in each other. We've all put in a lot of time, a lot of our personal time, a lot of our personal energy into this content. And here we are, right? It feels good, and that may be a small feat for someone else, but that's a large feat for me, and I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful that I have 5,000 plus people who've decided to lock in on my content on any given day, right? I'm grateful that I have you guys here that tune into the live streams, rocking from the very beginning since 2021 or 2020 rather, excuse me. I dropped my first video on Chalk It Up Sports in 2020. And it just seems like such a long time ago. I was looking at one of my old videos and I was thinking to myself, wow, we've come a long way here. We've come a long way in terms of just, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? The highs, the lows. Just in the content game, me going strong and then having that time off. And then we're doubling back here. It's surreal. And I'm just grateful that you guys were able to, or were willing rather, to be patient with my growth, to be patient through the growing pains, because this platform is still evolving. And I'm always going to try to do my best to make it as palatable. And I just want to always give you guys a great product. I believe in that. I believe that I have a responsibility to give you guys the best product that I can provide. I have a responsibility to give you guys my undivided attention, my undivided preparation, my commitment, my drive, the fire that burns inside. I have a responsibility to bring that heat, to bring that electric vibe every single day, every single time we talk. That's my responsibility. And your responsibility as supporters of this channel, as supporters of me, your responsibility is very simple. Just keep being y'all. Just keep supporting the content. Just keep hitting that like button. You dig what I'm saying? That like button got us here. You guys subscribing got us here. Because with each like, another person has a chance to find the content. With each subscribe, you guys add validity and you guys add credence to what we're building here. So I want you guys to understand the power and your role in this. Yes, I am in front of the microphone. I am talking. I am delivering the message. But you guys are always active in that live chat, which provides fuel for me, which sometimes you guys give me talking points. You guys challenge my perspective all the time. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. It's all a part of the game. It's par for the course. We can't have a good show without good friction here. You feel what I'm saying? And I do my best to make sure I'm as informed. I do my research. I double check, I triple check. I try not to put anything out there that I don't know for fact or that I don't have good authority on. I make sure I give you guys my opinion in good faith always. I'm never here to gaslight you. I'm never here to just get a reaction out of you. That's not how I move here. My way of doing this requires a little bit more integrity, a little bit more of a moral compass. So I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity, the space to be able to do this thing every single day. You guys motivate me. You guys inspire me. So I'm grateful and I'm humbled by the support you guys have given me. I really am. Nabruski says, best Eagles podcast and channel. Thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate. I really do appreciate that, man. Look, I'm just a man trying to compete with giants. You feel what I'm saying? You know, there's so many people that have been doing this longer than me. They have so many more subscribers, and they got sponsors, and you know they're real slick with their editing, and you know a lot of people, you know, they make their content real sexy, right? And you know what? Let me not conflate 2 points that I'm trying to make here. Let me make them individually. There are people who I really look up to in this game, and I aspire to reach the heights they've reached. Because I don't see myself competing with anybody. I'm running my own race here. I support people. I show love. I collaborate, as you guys can see. I try to build connections. I try to establish and maintain a healthy network so I can provide you guys the best show possible. And I've made a lot of relationships throughout this process, so I'm grateful for those. Like I said, I'm a man amongst giants. There's so many people that have 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, man, and they're doing great work, and I love to see what they're doing. They're doing amazing work, and I'm proud of those people. And I always seek to be inspired by a lot of those people. Now, let me make my second point. There are people out here in the content game who are doing their thing, right? They're doing their thing. And this is not a particular shot at anybody, right? There are very specific people in this game that, you know, they're very slick with their editing, and they give you a lot of Eagles footage and all that kind of stuff. And it can get a little tricky in that game because YouTube is very choosy in how they demonetize channels if you use material that's not your own. It can get very touch and go there. Yet you have a lot of sports channels who do use real Eagles footage, real Eagles highlights to make their points, to drive home their points, to make their platform that much more marketable, or you know, to up their subscribers, or to, you know, to get more likes, whatever it is. I want everyone to win their way. But me personally, just think about how we getting it going here. We getting it from the mud here. And I mean that with respect. We're getting it from the mud here. No glitz, no glam, no highlight footage, no crazy slick editing of NFL footage, you know, trying to take advantage of that YouTube loophole. If the video is less than 10 seconds or 5 seconds, you won't get flagged. It gets tricky with that. I can't play that game. I can only play the game. I can only play the hand I'm dealt. We're getting it from the muscle here. I've won you over strictly with personality, charisma, research, commitment, enthusiasm, dedication, gratitude. You feel what I'm saying? That's how we're winning here. We're getting it strictly off of essence. And again, I say that with the utmost respect. I promise you no one is in my crosshairs. I promise you, we're running our own race here. But just really think about that, you guys. Think about that. You know, ask yourself, who would that person be without the footage? Hey, we're running our own race here, you guys. How many can really just get it strictly off of personality? How many people out here are really hosting 1-2 hour live streams really just eloquently captivating you on a day-to-day basis. Think about that. Do I use my live chat? Absolutely. But you guys are, I don't want to abuse my live chat, right? I do my own research. I take my own notes. I'm very thorough in my notes. And I rely on my notes to guide me through this thing. And then once I get through my points, I want to get to you guys and figure out where you guys fit into things and get your spin. But who else is giving you the message like this? Who else is giving you the gospel like this? That's all I'm saying. I'm grateful for my gift. I'm grateful for the hard work. I'm grateful for the ups, grateful for the downs. This is how we got to 5,000 subscribers, and we're counting. And I'm putting the pressure on myself. I don't see why we can't get to 20K by the end of the season. Chris Bruce, I don't recognize your name. I don't know if you're new here or not. But if you know how I get down here, I always make it very clear how vile, how necessary the people are to this thing. The people are necessary. You guys are the lifeblood of YouTube. You guys hitting that like button, you are the lifeblood of this thing. You are the oil in the engine, the coal in the locomotive, the jet fuel in the plane. Do you feel me? Do you dig me? That's how you get here. That's how you put your money where your mouth is. By leaning on the people, trusting the people. You dig what I'm saying here? At Chalk It Up Sports, we're doing giveaways. We got the merch. Damn near daily live streams. We do this for the love. We do this for the love. So enough of my pontificating, you guys. Enough of me getting too deep into my bag. I'm a very humble, modest guy. You guys know how I am here. You guys know how I am here. I focus on what we're doing. I collaborate. I love everybody. I want everybody to do well. I wish the best for everybody in this thing, man. I love when I get emails from you guys showing love. I love seeing you guys receive your gifts. Like my man Jameer Adams here. I love seeing you guys with your, with your Eagles gear that you won here at Chalk It Up Sports. I love to see it. I love to see it from people like Keisha showing off her new Eagles gear that she won at Chalk It Up Sports. We're doing giveaways here weekly. I love to see it from my man Mark Johnson as well. Goes a long way with me. Goes a long way with me. This is how we do it here. I give back to the people. This is the only way we know how to do things here. I can't expect the most out of you if you can't get anything from me. So I'm grateful. Shout out to all you guys. My man Mark Johnson rocking the Kelly Green snapback. He won here at Chalk It Up Sports. Thank you guys so much for constantly betting on me. You guys bet on me every day. And I appreciate it, man. Shout out to my mother, Carolyn Palmer, for donating $19.99 to the channel. Thank you so much. I hope that doesn't encroach on your promise you made to me yesterday. I hope that $19.99 doesn't cut into your little promise to me yesterday. That's all. I love you, Mom. I love you to death. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for being my biggest supporter. My father as well. I think my father is in here too. Yes, he is. Shout out to my father, Tone DeShields Sr. We appreciate you so much, Dad. My father, the brainchild behind the giveaways. the master manipulator behind the giveaways. My father has invested a lot in his channel, as of you. My father helped me accumulate the means to be able to provide you with giveaways. I get a ton of support. My mother, my father, my wife, my brother. A lot of support from family, man. Couldn't be here without those people. Daniel Bigelow, thank you for your $5,000. I said $5,000. Man, I'm getting ahead of myself. Daniel, thank you so much for your $5 donation, my friend. He says, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Keep it up, Tone. On the road to 100K. On the road, baby. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. Oh man. I appreciate you guys, man. I really, really do. I really, really do. All right. All right. All right. Enough with all the sappy stuff. Let's get to why you came here. Let's get to the myth, magic, and mysticism. Let's get to your Philadelphia Eagles. Today was joint practice with the New England Patriots. That was pretty exciting. A lot of positive things that come from that day. A lot of positive things, right? First and foremost, Cooper DeJean has been officially activated. He is off of the non-football injury list. Thank God. I got a little nervous, I'm going to be honest, because hamstrings are very tricky. Hamstrings can debilitate you. One day you're good, the next day you're not. You take one step too far, coach, I need some icy hot. So I'm really glad Cooper DeJean is healthy. You know, he's been out since the beginning of training camp when it came up in his conditioning test that he had a hamstring injury. And of course, the Philadelphia Eagles had to take their necessary precautions, right? Again, the hamstring, very tricky. You don't want to play around with that. You don't want the hamstring to be something that lingers throughout the regular season or just throughout your career. There are some people who've come back way too soon from hamstring injuries, and now they can't shake them, right? So I'm really glad they were patient with that. They gave us, a 3-week timetable, and he came back, 20 days later? So he came back a day sooner? So that's pretty good. Right on time. Got to give credit to the Philadelphia Eagles strength and conditioning staff, their nutrition staff. Got to give credit where credit is due. Got to give credit to the coaching staff for properly monitoring this and not forcing this player out there. You drafted Cooper DeJean in the second round. That's a high draft pick. You're banking on Cooper DeJean being the future of your secondary, along with Quinyon Mitchell. And we're going to talk about Quinyon as well. So, with DeJean's skill set, right? He brings a ton of athleticism, a ton of versatility to the Eagles secondary. He is the future of it. So the last thing you need is a hamstring injury debilitating that, right? Or offsetting that development. Now, he did miss critical time. He missed critical time not being out there with the guys, right? He basically lost his nickel role to Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell has been in the nickel role since Cooper DeJean has been out. So the Philadelphia Eagles had to get creative with how can they get the best combination of talent on the field at a given time, at least until Cooper comes back. How can we find a way to evaluate more guys than one while Cooper is gone? So they say, you know what? Let's move Quinyon to the nickel. Let's throw something else on his plate. We know he can play outside. Let's throw something else on his plate. See if he can hold that water. And Quinyon Mitchell, of course, showed that he's very capable. Almost had an interception in the preseason game from the nickel. Right? He's been playing it very well. Played the outside very well. He's a versatile player, very, very talented. But now that Cooper is back, where does he fit into this defense now? What's the best possible outcome? Because now he has an opportunity to play in a preseason game and get some real training camp reps. Now, to be honest, I don't know if he's going to play in the upcoming preseason game against the Patriots. I think that's Thursday or Friday. Let me double check that. The Eagles face off against the Patriots on Thursday. Will Cooper DeJean be able to participate in that game? Or will the Philadelphia Eagles give him an additional week of rest and then allow him to play in that third preseason game? I think that's going to be a conversation. But also, again, I wouldn't mind if he goes out there. I just want the player to be as healthy as possible. That's all. I would love to see Cooper DeJean in that Thursday night game against the Patriots. I would love to see that. But I just want the player to be healthy enough to suit up. That's what I care about the most. So I think the best scenario, now that he's back, I think the best scenario for Cooper DeJean is to get him back in that nickel role, right? Get Cooper back in that nickel role, and then get Quinn Mitchell back on the outside. Because look, here's the thing. As much as Isaiah Rodgers and Keely Ringo have competed, we all know who should really be out there. You drafted him in the first round. You got to get him out there. He's shown you he can play. In my opinion, he's your most talented corner. Speed, physicality, athleticism, instincts. You don't want to delay that development. Get Quinn Mitchell on the outside for week 1 of the NFL season. Get Cooper DeJean in the nickel and have Darius Slay out there, out on the outside as well. Then back at your safety spot, you have CJ, GJ, and Reed Blankenship as it is to be seen right now. Those are your starting DBs. Quinn Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay, CJ, GJ, Reed Blankenship. And you have depth. And then you can probably get Isaiah Rodgers or Keely Ringo on the field and maybe some nickel situations or some big nickel situations, right? That's what you want to see. We have plenty of time. Today is August 13th. I think you're underselling this. Yoss 22H. I think you're underselling this thing. I don't see why Cooper can't be ready by week 1. I don't. Like I said, I think the Eagles will be patient and not play him in this Thursday night's game. I think he'll play in the following week, and he'll get a lot of reps then. He's been getting mental reps. He's been in the film room. He's been in the classroom with these guys. He knows what's going on. He just couldn't get on the field. This is not about him. This is not about him not knowing the playbook here. This is about him physically being ready. I think he will be ready by week 1. Today's August 13th. The season opener is when? The season opener is September 6th. It's 31 days in August, right? So 18 days plus 6, that's 24 days. You mean to tell me Cooper DeJean will not be ready to start week 1? When he's been in the film room, when he's been with the guys, he just couldn't get on the field? I beg to differ. Nonetheless, though, you got to get Quinn Mitchell. You got to get Quinn Mitchell on that outside. You got to. You have no choice. Now, let's get to some of the observations from today's training camp or today's joint practice with the New England Patriots. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys some of the things I've learned from the joint practice, right? Some of the things that I noticed. A lot of videos were posted on social media. I also did a lot of reading of articles, a lot of comparing and contrasting of other people's observations and try to consolidate that. Obviously, I'm not there. But again, I'm a voyeur watching from a distance here. some of the things that came up from that practice, from that joint practice, was the competition between Devontae Smith and Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez, obviously drafted in the first round last season. He couldn't finish the season because he had a season-ending injury. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if it was an ACL or a break or a sprain. I'm not entirely sure. But Devontae Smith and Christian Gonzalez had a pretty spirited competition today. And there were moments where Gonzalez got the better of him. There were moments when Devontae Smith got the better of him. Right? A.J. Brown even went up against Gonzalez. And he had nothing, he gave credit to the DB. Right? A.J. Brown was in his press conference and he spoke about how Christian Gonzalez, really good player. I had him ranked as the best corner in his draft class. He gave us a ton of great work today. And then on top of that, one of the plays that stood out was Devontae Smith. He was able to get Christian Gonzalez off balance on a curl route, setting him up with the double move. That was pretty cool to watch as well. And it just reminds you just how smooth Devontae Smith is. Like when you're just watching it and you don't know what to look at, it doesn't seem like he's doing much. It never seems like he's doing much. Right? But he just always keeps DBs off balance. Devontae Smith is the smoothest route runner I've ever seen. The Slim Reaper comes in the night when you least expect him. You feel what I'm saying? Skinny Batman. The Cape Crusader. You never know when he's there, but he gets you, doesn't he? Devontae Smith is always going to do his thing, man. And again, shout out to Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez was having a great season last year up until the injury. And it's unfortunate that, they had a setback like that. But nonetheless, I want to give a shout out to my man Rufus here with the $5 donation. Thank you, Rufus. I really do appreciate it. He says, Tone, what's good? We got 3 weeks for Cooper to get on. Yes, he missed time, but he was getting his film in. He will be ready for the Friday Night Lights. I agree with you, my friend. That's my perspective as well. I think Rufus, my brother, I think Cooper DeJean is going to be ready. I think you're going to have Cooper DeJean in that nickel, Quinion Mitchell on the outside, Darius Slade opposite, CJ GJ, Reed Blankenship in the backfield. That's my honest opinion. That's my preference. And then if you can get Isaiah Rodgers on the field or Kelly Ringo on the field and maybe a dime set or a big nickel set, we'll see how that goes too. Right? Obviously, there are people competing for the safety role, James Bradbury in particular. I don't know how much he'll be able to achieve between now and then. I don't know how much ground he'll be able to make up on Reed Blankenship. Or maybe you see James Bradbury in the big nickel situations or the dime looks, right? But when it comes to those nickel looks, I think you're definitely going to see now I'm thinking about something here. Okay. I definitely think Cooper DeJean is going to be ready to go. That's the bottom line. Rufus, thank you so much for your donation, my friend. It means a lot to me. It goes into the pot. You help me pay my bills, big dog. You know how we give it up here. Thank you so much, Rufus. Oh, Rufus. Oh, my God. How can I be so dense, Rufus? You don't have a wrench. So, Rufus, there you go. Rufus, there goes your wrench, my guy. Thank you so much. And Daniel Bigelow, let me give you your wrench as well for donating to the channel. Thank you guys for investing in me. All right. Let's get back to my notes here. So, moving on from the Devontae Smith, Christian Gonzalez competition, I want to move on to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. That brother continues to make plays and continues to show why he deserves to be taken seriously for that starting linebacker role. I know Devin White and Zach Bond are in the A-hole right now. Pause. I know Devin White and Zach Bond are in the first team right now. I know that, right? Zach Bond made a play today too. And Nakobe Dean. We're going to get to that. But Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was able to secure an interception against the Patriots' first team offense. Trotter essentially read where Jacoby Brissett was going with the ball. I forgot Jacoby Brissett went back to the Patriots. Nonetheless, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. read Jacoby Brissett's eyes, knew where he was going with the ball, and then jumped the route and secured their interception. So not only did he read the play, read the quarterback's eyes, read the route, he also was able to secure the ball, sure-handed. Finish the play all the way through. That's what you need to see. That's what we want from Quinion Mitchell. Quinion Mitchell, remember in that preseason game, he read the quarterback's eyes, read the route perfectly, jumped it, had the ball in his hands, but he couldn't bring it in, couldn't secure it. Granted, that was the quarterback threw a bullet, so it bounced off the chest plate. So I give credit for the read and react and the pass deflection, but you got to bring that in, Quinion, and I think you will. But just making a comparison here, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. secured that ball for a linebacker. Pretty neat, pretty good to see. And I think you're seeing the game slow down for Jeremiah much sooner than we anticipated. Right? I think he needs to be taken seriously. And quite frankly, I'm making a declaration. And I think Bo Wolf from PHLY said this as well. Bo Wolf, journalist, reporter for the Philadelphia Eagles. He makes a declaration that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will be a starter by midseason. I'm inclined to agree with that. I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to end up being a starting linebacker before the season's over. He's doing too well, especially if Devin White and Zach Bond aren't cutting the cheese. You feel what I'm saying? Zach Bond, Devin White, they on one-year deals. They ain't making no money. The Philadelphia Eagles have complete autonomy. They have complete flexibility at that position. If you're not getting the job done, we're putting Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out there or Nakobe Dean, whoever's playing well, whoever they feel like they trust at the time. So shout out to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. for continuing the momentum. Moving on, I mentioned Zach Bond made a play as well, right? Zach Bond was able to secure an interception for himself, right? So Zach Bond, he's trying to keep Jeremiah Trotter Jr. at bay. He's trying to keep Jeremiah Trotter Jr. from taking that job from him. I respect the hustle. Zach Bond made a play, but it doesn't happen. That interception, that Zach Bond interception does not happen without Nakobe Dean making his play first. Nakobe Dean is trying to keep pace with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Zach Bond and Devin White. Remember, Nakobe Dean has struggled in coverage. He's very good at going forward. He's very good at reading the running lanes, the gaps, the A to B. He's very good at pursuit. But when it comes to sideline to sideline, being at the right depth in coverage, right? Making that right decision at the right time, being where he's supposed to be, reading where the quarterback is trying to go with the ball. He struggled in coverage. But today he made a very good play. He was able to pretty much meet the receiver at the ball, causing a pass breakup, which then gave Zach Bond the ability to secure the interception off the tip drill. So both of those players making a play. Shout out to both of those guys. Shout out to Nakobe Dean for continuing to keep the pressure on. I've been very candid about my position on Nakobe Dean's future with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's slowly starting to move in the right direction. Obviously, it has to translate to the football field, and he did that. He made some plays in that preseason game. Can he make it to the regular season healthy? Can you trust his body to hold up? Can he be consistent in coverage? That's the question. Anybody can make a play here and there. Can he be consistent in coverage? Is what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to need from him. Zach Bond, Devin White, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., same thing. That's going to be the levy, right? That's going to be the straw that breaks the back. That's going to be the decider. The difference between who plays and who doesn't. Who doesn't. Not only can you play the run, but can we trust you in coverage? So far, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is showing he can make plays in coverage. So far, Zach Bond is proving that he's capable of making a play in coverage. Nakobe Dean has shown that he can make a play in coverage. Can they string it together? Can they be consistent? Can they be consistent? That's going to be the $1 million question. Staying on the defense side of the ball, Bradbury had a rough moment. He got called for holding on defense, and he ended up getting beat by a Patriots tight end. Didn't look good doing it either. Didn't look good at all. And got to give credit to the tight end for making the play. Bradbury wasn't terrible in coverage, but you got called for the holding and he still beat you. Wasn't good. Wasn't good. Especially if you're competing for that safety spot and you claim you can cover tight ends. That's what he said in the press conference, right? Y'all remember that. James Bradbury said, yeah, I can cover tight ends, so safety just seems like something I'll be capable of doing. Well, a tight end beat you today. As a matter of fact, you got caught holding him as well. Can you cover tight ends, James, or not? Can you cover tight ends or not? It all remains to be seen still. Also on the defense, the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line had a pretty good day. They were able to generate a ton of pressure on Drake May and Jacoby Brissett. They were able to record a handful of sacks, proverbial sacks, quote unquote sacks. Obviously, the quarterback is not really touching the ground because they got that red jersey on for a reason, but they're counting, if you get to the quarterback within a certain distance, they're counting it as a sack. And the Philadelphia Eagles, their defensive line was able to generate a ton of pressure and were able to record a handful of sacks on the Patriots QB and offensive line. Guys like Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, and Brandon Graham were able to get sacks. So that's good to hear, right? It's good to hear that Bryce Huff was able to generate pressure and get to the quarterback. Nolan Smith, same thing. Brandon Graham, same thing. I want them to empty the tank. And I'm going to get to your comments. I'm going to get to that super chat as well, Rufus. I definitely didn't forget about you. Thank you again for donating to the channel. You need to see Bryce Huff making plays like that. You need to see Nolan Smith getting plays like that. You need Brandon Graham in his swan song season, in the final year of his career, the final season. He needs to empty the gas tank. I need Brandon Graham coming out the gate with no brakes. No brakes. The brake line's been cut. The rotors is shot. The brake pads is scraping metal. You dig me? I need Brandon Graham to leave it all out there. This is the season to not put BG on the pitch count. This is not that time. BG knows what's at stake here. BG has been to the mountaintop. He's been there. He knows what it's like to win. He knows what it's like to hold that Lombardi trophy. He knows what it's like to go to the jewelry store and say, "Jeweler, bust it down." You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? He knows what it's like to say, "Hey, ice me out. Ice me out. Cash me out." This is the time. So I don't need them putting BG on the pitch count. This is what you like to see from the defensive line. This is what you like to see. Because I was a little concerned, still am a little concerned about the front four being able to generate consistent pressure. That's something I've been concerned about. Can the front four generate consistent pressure? That was something that wasn't happening last season, especially in the second half. They were getting pressure, but they couldn't get home. They weren't delivering the goods. And thank you, Michael. Thank you so much, Michael DeJean, for your kind words, my friend. If you don't know already, we've made it to 5K over the past 24 hours. My mom gave me a call last night. She was like, You made it to 5K, dog. How you feel, dog? My mom is the realest. My mom is the realest. She called me late last night. You made it to 5K, dog. How you feeling? The price just went up. So thank you, Michael DeJean, for your kind words, my guy. Thank you. All right, getting back on task here. Let's talk about the offense, right? You know, Jalen Hurts had a pretty good day as well. Protected the ball per usual. He had a few plays that I want to talk to you guys about. A couple plays actually. He had this beautiful. He threw a beautiful deep ball to Dallas Goedert. With the defense was playing damn near perfect coverage. The coverage can't get no better than that. Nonetheless, it's never too much for Jalen Hurts. Shout out to Luther Vandross. It's never too much for Jalen Hurts. He delivered the perfect deep ball into the bread basket. You feel me? The perfect deep ball right over the shoulder. All Dallas Goedert had to do was get there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ever tell somebody, hey, look, hey, I'm about to get off work. I'll meet you there. I left the key under the mat. You ever tell somebody, hey, just get there. I left the key under the mat. Everything will be ready for you. That was basically what Jalen Hurts did for Dallas Goedert. He told Dallas Goedert, hey, I left the key under the mat. Just make sure you lock the door on your way out. Just make sure you lock the door on your way out. And Dallas Goedert was able to secure the pass, man. Give credit to the defender, though. The defender had damn near perfect coverage, and Dallas Goedert did what he did. Jalen Hurts, the apex did what he does best. And then Jalen Hurts had another play. He had another play where he was able to connect with Saquon Barkley on a wheel route for a touchdown against the Patriots' first-team defense. Doesn't that remind you of the wheel route he was able to pitch over to Kenny Gainwell? And you know what's so crazy about it? A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, those boys, they're unimpressed. They asked A.J. Brown today, speak on Jalen, just being in the zone right now. He hasn't turned the ball over yet. You know what I mean? Just speak on Jalen's performance as of late. And A.J. was like, look, man, we know you guys like to keep stats of everything and all that kind of stuff, but it's practice. It's training camp. And, all that stuff is good and all, but, that stuff has to translate to the field. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, right? And that's what you do. You never get too high, never get too low. It's practice. You never get too excited about your progress, and you never get too down on yourself for your regression. You feel what I'm saying? So I like where A.J. Brown's mind is. I really, really do. Never be satisfied. Understand that the stakes are high. And practice stats, practice accolades don't get it done. And then Jalen Hurts, they asked him about, his beautiful touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. They tried to ask him, is there a difference when you have a guy like Saquon Barkley back there, a guy of that caliber, a guy of that talent? Is it different? Are you able to do different things when you got a guy like that back there? And Jalen Hurts was like, I feel like you're trying to ask me something else, but let me put it to you this way. Regardless of who's back there, regardless of the talent level, and I'm paraphrasing, regardless of who's back there, we got to get the job done. They got to execute, because Kenny Gainwell actually scored a touchdown on a similar play. He said that in a press conference. In other words, he's saying, look, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Gainwell, it don't matter who back there. Will Shipley, it don't matter. We got to execute, because talent, like he's been saying all season, talent is not enough. Talent does not pay the bills. Potential does not pay the bills. You know how many people are in relationships just off potential, and they still waiting for that potential to pop out. Trust and believe. I'm with my wife because I knew what she brought to the table, and I saw it. My wife was with me because she know what I bring to the table, and she saw it. I showed improved. She showed improved. So like Jalen Hurts said, talent not enough, potential not enough. We got to execute. We got to let it be known. We got to let it be known that, hey, at the end of the day, you got to talk to me nice. And you got to put it on the floor. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta put the ball in the hoop. You gotta deliver the goods. That's all. So you can't be too impressed with something that you know should be habit. You feel what I'm saying? You can never get too high, too low. This is routine. Routine. Moving on here. Let me get to some other observations here, right? Some other things that were going on. So, Nakobe Dean was able to get some first team reps to start practice, right? Which is the first change we've seen all summer, right? You remember I spoke about Nakobe Dean making a play earlier. Today was the first day we saw Nakobe Dean get first team reps to start, which means he's making progress. He is starting to earn the trust of Vic Fangio and Nick Sirianni. Daniel Bigelow says, yo, talk your shit, young blood. I'm excited for this season, Tone. You getting me pumped. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is my job, my responsibility. I'm not here just to regurgitate stuff that I'm reading and I'm hearing and I'm learning. And I'm not just here to just read notes. I'm here to entertain. I'm here to put that battery in your back and say, go, killer. I'm not really a violent person, right? But I use a lot of metaphors. I use a lot of similes and analogies, right? But I ain't going to hold you. I put the gun in my shooter hand. You feel what I'm saying? I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no harm. I tell my shooter, get him. He say, I got him. That's the vibe I'm on this season. That's the energy I'm on. Can't you tell? That's the energy the Eagles on. They've been real militant in them press conferences. So what's going? So Daniel. So Daniel, what you feeling right now? Bask in it. Bask in that. Use that. Because we got some opposition this season that's coming for us. We got some people that's going to be in our way this season. Everything is food. Let's move on. Let's move on, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button as well. If you guys are just hopping into the live stream, it means a lot to me here. We got 90 people in the live stream here. We got 66 likes thus far. Make sure you guys keep hitting that like button. It goes a long way. Thank you guys so much for donating to the channel as well. So, Nakobe Dean gets to start today with the first team. And, before, Devin White and Zach Bond started every day. Today, it was Nakobe Dean and Devin White. And then later, we also saw Nakobe Dean next to Zach Bond with the starters. And then we even saw Jeremiah Trotter Jr. get some first team reps. Like I said, that linebacker position, that competition is starting to heat up. Also, Isaiah Rodgers and Keely Ringo, once again, they split first team reps on the outside. And Quinion Mitchell was at the top for the slot corner. Once again, he was with the first team in the slot. And on top of that, the day started with Reed Blankenship and Devontae Maddox at safety. And CJ GJ, obviously, didn't practice today. They're making sure that shoulder is good to go. In addition, when the Philadelphia Eagles were in a dime set or a dime package, Avonte Maddox was bumped up and was replaced by James Bradberry. So, like I mentioned before, there's going to be some. I mentioned this, right? I mentioned that James Bradberry, they're likely going to use him if they want to get the most talent on the field, the highest football IQ on the field. Don't be surprised if they use James Bradberry in a bunch of dime sets or big nickel sets. Once again, Mekhi Becton was at right guard. That's his job. Mekhi Becton is the right guard. I don't think Tyler Steen will be able to gain ground. I think the Philadelphia Eagles love what they're seeing from Mekhi Becton. I think they're seeing that there's a clear difference in the talent level, a clear difference in size and power and authority and physicality at the role. I think they just love what Mekhi Becton is doing for them right now at that spot. That Eagles offensive line is legitimate. You got 2 first-rounders on the right side in Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton at right tackle and right guard, respectively. You got Cam Jurgens, a 3rd-rounder, who was vetted and scouted and selected by Jason Kelce. You got Landon Dickerson, 2nd-rounder out of Alabama at left guard. One of the best left guards in the league, top 5. Then you got Jordan Mailata, top 5 left tackle. I mean, that offensive line is good to go. And you still got depth. You got Tyler Steen as far as depth. You got Trevor Keegan as far as depth in that guard spot in the interior. You got Darian Kennard as far as depth on the outside, at the tackle spot. Fred Johnson, Dylan McMahon at center. Those guys have been showing a lot. The offensive line is in good hands. My man S. Blunt was like, it's interesting. We were going to draft a tackle who could start as guard, then succeed Lane. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Relative Time Work says, hey, Tone, I checked out a Patriots post-camp webcast, and they were all depressed and intimidated by the Eagles' size and talent. They wondered how we could have collapsed last season. Yeah, we all were wondering that, right? We all were wondering how the hell did we collapse last year? Nonetheless, it happened. But to your point, Time Works, the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm telling you, this is a different vibe we have here. They're more physical, they're bigger, they're more talented, they're younger, they're more athletic. This Philadelphia Eagles team, I'm so excited to see this shit come together. Excuse my language, y'all. I'm so excited to see it come together because I saw in that preseason game a clear distinction in physicality, and it's only a preseason game. There was a clear distinction in want to and drive and commitment to the football and just pure just grit. There's a clear differential in this year versus last year. They look like trained killers. So yeah, Town Works. They're on point with that. Michael DeJean says, who's your starting corners? Me personally, I would prefer to have Quenya Mitchell and Darius Slay on the outside, and you got Cooper DeJean in the slot. That's what I prefer. Moving on, Tanner McKee, he got some reps with the second team, but Kenny Pickett is still clearly the number 2. I don't know why. I don't know why Kenny Pickett is still the number 2. I think it's because of experience or because he was a former first-round pick. I think the Eagles are looking at it like there has to be still some talent there, but we've got a lot of Kenny Pickett tape, and it's clear that he's not that good. It's clear he has limitations. It's such a chore watching him play the position. Whereas with Tanner McKee, he just looks like a much more natural thrower of the football. But Tanner McKee did get reps with the second team nonetheless. Also, Johnny Wilson and Britton Covey, they split most of the wide receiver 3 reps. So clearly it's a competition between Johnny Wilson and Britton Covey. I think John Ross is out as the wide receiver 3 option. I think that's a foregone conclusion. And obviously Paris Campbell is still nursing that groin injury. Hopefully he can come back and prove that he still has something to offer that competition. But as of right now, Johnny Wilson and Brenton Covey, they're competing for that spot. Today, the Philadelphia Eagles offense, they used much more 21 personnel than they have in the past. You saw a lot of creativity from Kellen Moore today. You really saw how unique, you saw the uniqueness and you saw the variety in what Kellen Moore can do with this offense and with this talent, right? You really got a sense for that today. You know, their top 3 running backs, they all have the ability to catch the ball in the backfield. Saquon Barkley, Kenny Gainwell, Will Shipley. They've all proven that they can catch the ball from the backfield. So I think we're going to see some very unique situations once the season starts. You know, 2 running back sets, like I said, 21 personnel. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Also, you know, there was a pretty dope play, like I mentioned to you guys, right? Obviously, the wheel route. We spoke about that. You know, there were 7-on-7s happening as well, right? AJ Brown and Devontae Smith got the bulk of the 7-on-7s. There were a total of 6 reps. There were a total of 6 reps in the 7-on-7 period. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, again, AJ Brown, he got 4 reps or 4 passes thrown to him, and Devontae Smith got 2 passes thrown to him. They were all completions except for one. There was only one incompletion thrown by Jalen Hurts, and you know, Christian Gonzalez once again. Oh yeah, my bad, Rufus. I forgot. Thank you, Rufus. Rufus said one more. He said one more. The secondary, how do you grade it? How do you compare to the years past? Do you think this group is at the top of the list? I think it's very close. I'm not going to jump out the window quite yet, Rufus. I think this group, although we're excited about them, they still have to prove it throughout the season, right? They have to string together consistent reps, consistent games, so we can say, or rather, so we can properly compare it to the past. I think to this day, you still have to give credit to that Troy Vincent crew. You know what I'm saying? The Troy Vincent crew. Remember when they drafted Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown? You know, you still gotta give credit to that. Remember the combination between Asante Samuel and Sheldon Brown, right? Remember that? So, you know, as excited as I am, Rufus, I'm not ready to compare this group to the past yet. This group is talented. They're talented, and they have potential to be great. But I'm not ready to make that comparison yet, Rufus. Once again, thank you for donating to the channel, my man. He donated twice. Rufus donated $10 to the channel. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate your investment. Anyway, back on task here. So 7-on-7 period. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith got the bulk of those targets. AJ Brown got 4 targets. Devontae Smith got 2 targets. They all but one were completed. Christian Gonzalez was able to make a play on AJ Brown, forcing the incompletion. But you know, Devontae Smith, he beat Kyle Duggar, and they did very well, man. They did very well. It says here in the team drills, the Eagles showed a bunch of pre-snap motion, which clearly shows the Kellen Moore impact, the Kellen Moore influence. But once again, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith were the targets. They were the targets. And let's be mindful. The Patriots have a good defense. Their offensive line, their offense is the question. The Patriots have a good defense. In my opinion, the Patriots have a playoff level defense. There were a ton of games last year the Patriots were in. The Patriots didn't really get blown out that much. They were in every game. They just couldn't close the deal. And that's because the offense was limited. But the Patriots have a good defense. Shoot, the Patriots had a better defense than us last year, just based off of production. So, as a matter of fact, that same defense gave us a little bit of trouble last year. So for Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and those guys to continue, to take advantage of that, goes a long way with me. Goes a long way with me. So moving on. Once I said the Philadelphia Eagles, their defense dominated, but the offense for the Patriots is not good. Their offensive line is not good at all. They're still trying to figure that out. The Eagles defense, they took advantage of it. So you can only put but so much stock into that as well. Eagles got a bunch of sacks on them, like I mentioned. And let's talk about some one-on-ones, right? I mentioned Dallas Goedert, beating Jalen Hawkins. And he also beat Kyle Duggar as well. AJ Brown, he caught a slant against Christian Gonzalez, and that's pretty much automatic. The Eagles also, they tried to get Johnny Wilson involved on the fade route, but the timing was a little off, and he couldn't pull down a pass in the end zone with Azizi Hearn locked on him. So maybe if the timing was a little better, Johnny Wilson could have secured it. But if your hands touch the ball, you got a chance to catch it. Also, I want to give some love to Moro Ujomo. Moro Ujomo was in one-on-ones today. He had a really good swim move on the Patriots offensive line. Nolan Smith was able to get under Calvin Anderson for the Patriots. Julian Okoro was able to make a nice play. Bryce Huff had a really good spin move. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. John Ross had a showing today, though. John Ross, there was a moment today where John Ross, he was playing with the twos, right, with Kenny Pickett, and they were in 7-on-7s, not 11-on-11, but 7-on-7s. And Kenny Pickett hit him for a deep ball over the coverage of Alex Austin, and we haven't seen enough of that from John Ross, right? We haven't seen enough from John Ross for us to be excited about anything, right? He needs to get consistent. He needs to utilize that speed. He needs to be able to create enough separation so we can be excited about that. So, that pretty much does it for the joint practice today. The joint practice, the Philadelphia Eagles won the day. They were more dominant on both sides of the ball. They were more consistent on both sides of the ball. You can really get excited about the offense taking advantage of that Patriots defense, because that Patriots defense was really good last year, and they're talented as well. But the Eagles defense going up against that Patriots offense, in particular, our defensive line versus their offensive line, you gotta hedge your expectations with that, because the Patriots offensive line is not good. Their quarterback play, it's still trying to figure itself out. Drake May is a rookie. Jacoby Brissett, he's a solid second string quarterback. He's a high end backup. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is a starter, but he's a high end backup for sure. He maybe could start on a bottom tier team, a bottom third of the NFL. He could definitely start on one of those teams, potentially. He could win you a few games if your starting quarterback is maybe out for 4. If your starting quarterback is out for 4 weeks, Jacoby Brissett can tread water and get you 2 wins. He could definitely do that. Maybe 3, depending on how the defense plays and depending on the matchup. But nonetheless, the Philadelphia Eagles definitely dominated the day, without a doubt. They were more physical. They out-executed them, and they're just more talented. Let's get to some of your comments here before I move on to my next topic, though. Pete Samuel says, man, John Ross would be fire. We for sure need that dependable number 3 receiver. Man, John Ross, he has to be consistent, right? He's not generating consistent separation, Pete. That's the problem. We know about the speed, but there are just certain things that we're not seeing from John Ross on a consistent basis. right? That that wide receiver IQ, we're not seeing that. And then obviously Paris Campbell was hurt with a groin injury. He's losing valuable time. And then as far as John Ross and Brenton Covey, that they're leading the pack right now at wide receiver 3. And to answer Michael DeJean's question, as of right now, if I'm just keeping it on the roster, I think my number 3 wide receiver would be, okay, I'll put it this way, right? Follow me here. And I heard about the John Mechie trade rumors as well. I heard about that. I heard about those. Mechie would fit well with this team. Another Alabama guy. Him and Devontae Smith know each other. But if I'm keeping it strictly on the current personnel we have, here's my suggestion. I would say Brenton Covey is my slot receiver between the 20s. And then once I get in the red zone, I want John Ross right there. I mean, Johnny Wilson. Follow me with that, right? Brenton Covey is very shifty, runs very crisp routes. He's been showing an ability to get some separation. You can use him in a variety of ways. But I believe that it would be interesting to see Brenton Covey being used in between the 20s, right? And then you bring in Johnny Wilson in the red zone. That is something I would entertain. Johnny Wilson gives you size at the position in the red zone, right? He also gives you blocking ability. Maybe if you're in the red zone, if you're in the within the 10 or the 15 or the 5, Johnny Wilson's size can help you in the red zone. He can or in the end zone, right? It can also help you in blocking for the run. So that's how I'm looking at that. Also, Michael DeJean, I am not entertaining anything Juju Smith-Schuster related. I'm not entertaining anything Juju Smith-Schuster related. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is a clown. He's a man-child. And I don't need that vibe with what we're trying to do here. Juju Smith-Schuster does not fit into our wide receiver room. He does not fit our culture. I don't need somebody making TikToks like that guy that played for the Sixers. I forget his name. The one that painted his nails and shit. I don't need somebody making TikToks. I need somebody here to do a job. Like Jalen Hurts said in his press conference, this is a business trip. Everything we do is business. Just that simple for me. Let's see here. As Blunt says, we need Campbell to show something. And Paris Campbell, I thought he was going to be the number 3. But he had a setback. And Johnny Wilson and Brenton Covey they've been gaining steam. And also, like Chris A mentioned, John Mechie, right? Don't be surprised if the Philadelphia Eagles entertain signing somebody in free agency, be it what's the dude? Damn, I forget his name. I forget his name. Anyway, you used to play for the Raiders. But John Mechie, could that be a trade target? It all remains to be seen. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Howie Roseman is evaluating that wide receiver 3 position, and I wouldn't be surprised if he made a move, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't. Relative Time Work says speed without route precision is a decoy only. Yeah, it sounds like Quez Watkins. But here's the thing, right? You can't even be a decoy if you can't catch the ball. You got to be a threat to catch it. Trotter says, so disappointed Campbell's hurt again. And Sweat's doing nothing all camp. Yeah, man, we haven't heard Josh Sweat's name all training camp. It's been kind of weird. I wonder what that's about. Pete Samuel says, Dallas Goedert to me is the equalizer. If healthy, he's a straight beast. I agree. Try Integrity says, does Josh Sweat do anything? He's been a fat 0. Y'all crazy, man. Down the Road says a Matthew Judon trade. Would you give up a late round pick and Eli Ricks? We're going to address the Matthew Judon trade rumors. We're going to talk about that. That's my next topic, by the way, down the road. So stay locked in, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, right? That like button is currency here. That like button really, really helps the channel grow. As I said before, goes a long way with me. Make sure you guys smash that like button on the way in and on the way out. We're going to address the Matthew Judon trade rumors later on after I get through these comments here. So stick around. The show only gets better. Khalil Wilson says Juju and Bradbury on the same team is hilarious. Bro, it is hilarious. Juju, bro, the Patriots cut him after giving him all that money. Khalil Wilson says, damn sure did have a better defense than us. Yeah, the Patriots defense was good last year. Michael DeJean says we need to trade for Judon. We're going to talk about that. Dylan Canepa says, sending love as always from Boise. DeJean has been in meetings, so I'm just hoping his body heals quickly. Go Birds. Yeah, today he was just doing individual drills. I don't think they're going to clear him for the game, though. I don't think Cooper DeJean is going to play this Thursday. I think he's going to play in that Minnesota game. That's what I think is going to happen. Khalil Wilson says, I'm at work, my guy Tone, stopping in to say what's up and all to the fan. Yo, Wilson, Khalil, listen, man, I appreciate y'all. That's another dope thing about this content game, right? That's the dopest thing about this new space we in, right? With media, YouTube, just this digital wave, the content creation and all this. You can be at work still tuned into your favorite shows, to your favorite content, to your favorite voices in sports, right? But back in the day, you only could watch people on TV. The opportunities were limited. You feel what I'm saying? There were only so many jobs in this industry. Now you create your job. You create your platform. You create your business, right? You create your own support system, your own viewership, your own fan base, right? That's what I love about this. I love that Khalil's at work listening to this. Don't get in trouble. Don't get caught up now. Don't get caught up, Khalil. Don't get caught up. And then don't blame me either. Let's see. Relative Time Work says Eric Allen, Ben Smith, Andre Waters, Wes Hopkins. Yeah, man. See, like legendary group, right? We can't compare this group to those guys. Those guys are legendary. We can't. This group has to prove they can make plays. Even though we're excited about the talent. As Blunt says, I can't get too excited about dominating New England. We handled business and did what we were supposed to do. I just want to be ready for Brazil. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, my man. I couldn't agree with you more. Pete Samuel says, man, those were the days. Lito Shepherd and Troy, were they ever? I love Lito Shepherd. Lito Shepherd was the man. I was a big Lito Shepherd fan. He's one of my favorite Eagles. Him, Sheldon, man, they were just so physical. Dank Bergang says, it's good, but it's not early 2000s good. Yeah, I agree. They're not there yet. Donald Roan says, Covey in third down. Covey should be the third down wide receiver, but all bets are off if they trade for Michi. Yeah, man. Covey has sure hands, too. Covey doesn't drop the ball. That's one thing I noticed about Covey. He doesn't drop anything. He doesn't muff punts. He doesn't drop the ball. He protects the ball. He's a good decision maker. He's just very reliable. I think Brenton Covey is like the perfect number 3 receiver. He's reliable. He's going to run the route exactly how he's supposed to run it. He's going to be exactly where he's supposed to be. Is he the most talented? No. But he's routine oriented. You can rely on that. I can bet on a Brenton Covey stock because I know exactly what I'm getting. Trey 979. Shout out to Trey, man. Trey is always showing love. Trey always reposting the links. Trey is always reposting like, just pushing the channel, pushing my social media, my Twitter, Instagram, and all that. My merch. Shout out to Trey 979, man. He says, Tone, 5K. I see you kept God in your life. God is good. Yes, sir. God is good. You know what it's like, my man. I appreciate your kind words, my God. Thank you. Donna Roan says Johnny Wilson will be used in situational plays and times. Yeah, definitely. I see that. Michael DeJean says, I see Tanner McKee as my number 2 quarterback. I agree with you. He should be there. I don't know why he's number 3, but it's whatever. Hale times 2 says Kenny Pickett is trade bait. Make him look decent and wait for another team to lose their quarterback and go looking for a young, cheap, experienced quarterback. Man, I don't know who would trade for Kenny Pickett at this point. I mean, I know we did, but I don't know. We'll see. Kenny Pickett has to show something to make people believe in him. Denk says Cam Jurgens was a 2nd-round pick. Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry. You're right. Nakobe Dean was the 3rd-round pick for that draft. You're absolutely right. My bad, Denk. Good call by you. And this is why I appreciate my community here. Whenever we have little errors, whenever we have little, missteps, you guys come in the clutch. Cam Jurgens was a 2nd-round pick out of Nebraska. Just how Landon Dickerson was a 2nd-round pick out of Alabama, right? In back-to-back drafts, the Philadelphia Eagles brought in an offensive lineman in the 2nd round. And now they're starters. We know how to evaluate offensive linemen. All right, let's see here. Dank says Covey's listed at 5'8", 173. Beasley listed at 5'8", 174. He said he's been studying. He's been studying Cole Beasley film. He's been studying. Dink says BCCB. That's funny. Michael DeJean says, I'm praying for 10K before the year is up. Bro, I don't see why we can't hit 10K before the year is up. I'm trying to hit 20K by the end of the season. I'm putting that into the universe. Khalil Wilson says, Covey is fine. Forget his size. He in the show already. He been holding on to the peel for like 3 seasons. He'll be fine. Yo, check out that Brenton Covey press conference, his most recent one. He talked about how at this point in his career, there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to contribute on the offense. He's been a special teamer. He's our punt returner. He's reliable at that. He's good at it. He knows how to make people miss. But I agree with him. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to make an impact. I think Brenton Covey should be able to get a real opportunity at wide receiver 3. Trey 979 says, thanks, Tone. I'm on a tough schedule right now, but the weekends are coming through. Hey, Trey, I feel you on that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for just being here. Renfro, that's what I was talking about earlier. Philly flyover, the guy that played for the Raiders. Hunter Renfro was really good too. He's a very good route runner. Hunter Renfro was good. I'm surprised he's not on the roster right now. And Dickerson was a center as well. He was a center, turned left guard. He's more physically inclined to play left guard, if you ask me. Philly flyover says Renfro was way better than Covey. He is. I'm not denying that. Renfro, we've seen he has a 1,000-yard season under his belt. Michael DeJean says, when the merch cap coming, Tone? I'm still working on that concept. I'm still working on what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? I haven't quite figured out what I want to do for hats yet, but they're coming. They're coming. I just got to figure out a concept. That's all. Spinbad says, did Michael Thomas get signed? I'm not even sure. That's a good question. I don't think he did, though. But I don't want Michael Thomas, man. I don't want him. All right. Let's get to the topic here. You guys have been tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. If you guys are new to the show, thank you guys so much. I want to give a shout out to my people who are watching the show after the fact, right? Those of you who couldn't catch the live stream live, I really do appreciate you guys for locking in on the show when you got the opportunity. And I don't take your time for granted either. So thank you for being here. Everyone who's watching the show after the fact, those who can't make it to the live, your time is so valuable to me. And you hitting the like button, your watch time is so valuable to me. You guys are just a part of this community as much as anybody else. Philly Flyover says, do your logo with black or Kelly green or gray background for the hat. I gotta see. I gotta see, Flyover. I gotta see. Dink says Michael Thomas is washed like a dish rack. That is funny, man. That is funny. That is funny. All right. Let's get to the topic, right? Now, some of you guys mentioned the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles should consider trading for Matthew Judon, right? A lot of you guys said that. Here's my problem, though. And excuse me, my opinion about this situation, my opinion about the Matthew Judon trade rumors are not rooted in his talent. It's not rooted in his talent. And honestly, it's not even rooted in his age for me. Here's my issue with it. In my opinion, the move just doesn't make financial sense. Trading for Matthew Judon doesn't make financial sense. And here's why. Follow me here. Philly Flyover says he's a cheaper, more consistent Reddick. Hold on. Hassan Reddick has 4 back-to-back seasons with double-digit sacks. It doesn't get more consistent than that. But hear me out. It doesn't make much financial sense to me because Matthew Judon's main issue with the Patriots is his contract. Right? His main issue this year is his contract. So I say that to say trading for Judon means that you're going to give him more money. That's basically what you're saying. If you trade for Matthew Judon, who's currently going through a contract dispute with the Patriots, right? He wants more money. Trading for him means you're willing to pay him as well. So that begs the question, why would the Philadelphia Eagles trade and pay for Matthew Judon when they were so resistant to pay Hassan Reddick? Now, some of you may say, well, Tone, Hassan Reddick is looking for $25 million plus. Matthew Judon currently has the cap hit of $14.6 million with a base salary of $6.5 million. With an average salary of $13.6 million. He has no more guaranteed money left. Matthew Judon has no more guaranteed money left. So That's my aversion to trading for him. Not because of the talent, not because of the age either. You trade for Matthew Judon, you're saying you're giving him he's looking for a multi-year extension. He's coming off of a good season, but he's looking for a multi-year extension, right? Actually, I take that back. Matthew Judon got hurt last year. He got hurt. So he's coming off of an injury. He's coming off of a season where he missed a ton of games. He played in 4 games and put up 4 sacks in each game, basically, on average. And then the year before that, he had 16 sacks in 2022. 2021, he had 13 sacks. In 2020, he had 6 sacks. 2019, he had 10 sacks. He's a talented pass rusher. He's talented. Do not get me wrong. But in 2024, I think he's supposed to bring in $7.5 million. The guaranteed money is gone. I don't know what he's looking for one, right? I don't know what Matthew Judon is looking for. Maybe he's just looking for more guaranteed money. Maybe he just wants that, right? Maybe he just wants some more security. I don't know exactly what he's looking for. But he has a base salary of $6.5 million. His contract, his current contract is manageable as is. It's manageable. So it's not about his current contract. It's about what he wants. And I don't know what he wants. And he's already given the Patriots issues about not paying him. So if you trade for him, you got to pay him. And if you do trade for him and you don't pay him, you're putting yourself in a similar situation as the Jets are with Hassan Reddick. Now, Hassan Reddick wants he wants big money. Hassan Reddick wants north of $20 million. I'm hearing he wants 24, 25, maybe. I'm hearing he wants between 23 and $26 million. Maybe more. You never know. Shit. Excuse my language. But I just don't know if they're going to be willing to pay Matthew Judon. And even if they are willing to pay him, what is he looking for? That's the big question. What is he looking for? Remember, he already showed what he's capable of. He sat out a couple days with the Patriots, letting them know, hey, I need my money looked at. Now, he did come back. I don't know if he realized that he doesn't have leverage, or maybe he can't afford to miss out on those practice checks. I don't know. Hassan Reddick hasn't shown up for a damn thing for the Jets. He showed up for the press conference and that was it. The Jets made him an offer before they traded for him. He declined the offer and they still traded for him like idiots. And now look where they are. So what is Matthew Judon looking for? A Bryce Huff type of contract? 17 million, 18, like what is he looking for? That's the question. And he's coming off of a season where he had a season-ending injury. I don't know if the Philadelphia Eagles want to give a guy that kind of money coming off of a season like that at his age. And again, I'm not even making it about his age, but the Eagles, I'm pretty sure they've considered it. And they're saying, coming off of a season-ending injury, you're 31 years old. How much you looking for? I don't know. I don't know if we can make that happen. I just don't know. I don't know. So that's just my perspective on that. You know, Matthew Judon is a talented player. He's a talented player. Now, if Judon is willing to come to Philadelphia on his current deal, hey, bring him here. But I doubt that. I doubt that. All right. Let me get to some of your comments here. Tri-Integrity says, yeah, I'm out on Reddick. The actions he's taking is not good. You know, I want I want these players to get everything they feel they're owed. I can't get mad at a player for knowing his value and really wanting his money. But here's this crazy thing about it, right? Hassan Reddick seems to be the only one that believes he's worth what he's worth. Because the Jets, I don't know what the Jets offered him, but clearly, for some reason, teams don't believe Hassan Reddick is worth what he believes he's worth. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I'm not going to say either or. Hassan Reddick has the right to do what he's doing right now. And also, he's losing money by doing this. I don't know, man. What is it, like $50K a day? It's ridiculous. But I'm pretty sure he did the math with his financial people, his agent. Hassan Reddick is a very smart guy. He's very financially savvy. He has investments, he has businesses outside of football. I'm sure him, his agent, and his financial advisor, I'm sure they all weighed the circumstances. I'm sure they all weighed out the repercussions and did the math. That's something he got to deal with, though. Spinbad says, Tone, what do you think about the Eagles playing 4 corners and 1 safety? So that's a dime look. No, I lied. No, yeah, that's a dime look. I think they're going to do that. Well, sounds like you're trying to get Reed Blankenship off the field. It's been bad. Sounds like you're trying to get Reed Blankenship off the field. Donald Roan says Hassan Reddick is in the hole for $1.6 million and counting. That's crazy. $1.6 million. That's crazy. Tri-Integrity says, yep, that's my problem. Ain't nobody paying $25 million. He going to get 20 at most. Kakakorski says, Tone, if you were AJ Brown, Tone, if you would AJ Brown for any player, who would it be? I don't understand what you're asking, Kyle. You gotta fix this for me. Donald Roan says, if we did not pay Reddick at a high price, we won't sign him for a big bag. Yeah, I agree. Spinbad says $22 million is good enough for Reddick. Bro, Reddick doesn't believe that. Davon Tyree says, now, if they get Judon for cheap, I'll take it. Agreed. 100%. I agree with you on that. Tri-Integrity says, dude, just give him a couple more million and he's good to go for a season. He will play out his contract. Like Judon has no guaranteed money left, so maybe you could entice him with a few million in his pocket. Maybe, I don't know. Jeff Martin says trade Bradbury and Huff for Reddick and pay him. The Jets didn't even want to pay Bryce Huff. You think they would trade for him and pick up the Bradbury contract also with Huff's new contract? Jeff, that doesn't make any financial sense for anybody. I admire the creativity though, Jeff. I definitely admire the creativity. Let's see here. Drew Johnson says, LOL, I was going to say the same thing. Quote unquote, more consistent, huh? Yeah, man. Matthew Judon is not more consistent than Reddick. Chin A says he wants to get paid. You trade for Matthew Judon, and it's another Reddick situation. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Antonio Holmes says when Reddick signed, he was one of the highest paid. but inflation is a bit. Yeah, exactly. That Reddit contract wasn't a problem back then. Now it's a problem. Because of inflation, the Eagles basically gave Bryce Huff the Hassan Reddick contract. You know, Bryce Huff is only making $17 million a year compared to Hassan Reddick's $15 million a year. But because of when they signed those contracts, inflation makes that Bryce Huff contract look like the Hassan Reddick deal. I'll put you this way. Because of inflation, Hassan Reddick's $15 million today looks like $17 million for Bryce Huff, and it looks like $13 million for Hassan Reddick. You feel what I'm saying? I hope you guys followed that. Hassan Reddick's $15 million due to inflation is $17 million for Bryce Huff, but it's $13 million for Hassan Reddick. Crazy, right? All right, let's see here. Rather than Time Work says Reddick has had almost as many zip codes as sacks in the NFL. Got to be something to that. Got to be something to it. You're right, man. Daron Terry says, Tone, if we still had Reddick paired with Huff, man, oh man. You're right, man. That'd be sick. Dashi James says, CJ and Cooper at safety, Mitchell and Slay on the corner, Rodgers in the slot all day long. Here's the problem with that, James. Isaiah Rodgers doesn't play the slot. He's voiced that on more than one occasion. Cooper DeJean, I talked about him being a safety as well. That was I talked about that when we drafted him and prior to the draft. I felt like Cooper DeJean could be like a Harrison Smith type player. Cock, of course, she says, Tone, this may sound crazy, but would you trade AJ Brown for TJ Watt? Nope. Sure wouldn't. TJ Watt get hurt too much for me. The Watt boys can't stay healthy. I think. Let me make sure I'm not wrong. Okay, nah. TJ Watt's been pretty healthy for his career. I'll take that back. He played all 17 games last year. 2022 was his worst season as far as health, but even beyond that, yo, TJ Watt got 96.5 sacks already. He's only been in the league 7 years. TJ Watt got 96 sacks through 7 seasons. That's insane. He's already a Hall of Famer. But I'm still not trading AJ Brown for TJ Watt, though. Damn. First of all, the Steelers wouldn't even give him up. The Steelers wouldn't even do something like that. TJ Watt, 6 Pro Bowls, 4 All Pros, Defensive Player of the Year. Damn. He's going to the Hall of Fame. All he got to do is keep going. That's crazy. Every season of his career, he's missed at least 2 games. Except for 2023, he played in all 17 games. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, Check O with the $4.99 donation. Thank you, my man. He says, Tone, it's been a minute, bro. What week do you think Trotter Jr. will take over Bond? That's a good question. Week 10, week 9, week 10. I'm guessing. Maybe week 10. Yeah. I think Jeremiah Trotter is just a sleeping dog, just waiting to be woken up. 96 sacks through 7 seasons is crazy, y'all. I'm sorry. No, I knew he was a beast, you guys. I knew, but like I didn't know how many sacks he had in his career. Because I don't keep up with TJ Watt stats like that. I knew he was a perennial double digit. I knew he got double digit sacks every year. Like I knew that's what he does. But I know about his game. But I didn't know he already had 96 sacks through 7 seasons, y'all. He's going to be in the 100 sack club before the end of the year. He might retire with 150 sacks. Seriously. Anyway, yeah, Checo, man. I think Trotter may end up being the starter by week 9, week 10, something like that. Thank you again for the donation, my man. I really do appreciate it. Private McClunky says we should have signed Quez and shipped him to San Fran for Ayuk. McClunky, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, let's get to my final topics here. So I do want to touch on some press conferences that happened today. I want to touch on Jalen Hurts talking, Brandon Graham, and AJ Brown. So, Jalen Hurts, let's go there, right? Jalen Hurts, he spoke to the media today, and he spoke about how, when, no matter where they are, no matter what time it is, every time they step on the field, it's business. They're taking everything seriously, and they're not playing around. Everybody's holding everybody accountable. And, he said, just based off of today, he's not satisfied. He believes there's still so much more to grow from, despite the strides they've made. They've been successful in the training camp. They've gotten a lot of work in, but he believes there's so much more to attain. And he spoke about how it's really helpful when you have these joint practices. You're able to see different things from the opponent, and it gets you excited to get back to the film room, to break it down, right? That's what you love to hear, right? Jalen Hurts has just been more. Jalen Hurts has been lighter this year, right? Jalen Hurts has just been more. He seems just a little more loose, right? And but he's about the business. He's about business. And to hear your franchise quarterback say, he can't wait to get back to the film room to break down, what they did today. That that gets you excited. And to add to that, he even mentioned how, and again, I'm paraphrasing a lot of this stuff. He basically was saying how, it doesn't matter how big or how small the steps you take are, as long as you continue to take the steps in the right direction and the winning direction. That's all that matters, right? Growth is still growth. And we should take that in life, right? Maybe you're not exactly where you want to be just yet, but are you taking the steps to get there? Are you putting the reps in? Are you stacking those days, the man hours? That's how you get to your destination. And he acknowledged that he feels like the Eagles got better today. He feels like the Eagles took a really big step forward today. And I mentioned this earlier, right? The Eagles have been making a lot of strides. He even spoke on Tanner McKee, right? Tanner McKee, we spoke on him still being the number 3 quarterback, even though he's been outplaying Kenny Pickett, and he just looks better at the position. Hurts, he praised Tanner McKee's football IQ, the work ethic, and his command and knowledge of the offense, right? And then finally, and I mentioned this earlier too, right? They asked him about, Saquon Barkley's impact on the offense, and what's it like having a guy of that talent? Does it make playing the game easier or whatever it may be, right? Because, remember, he threw that touchdown pass, the wheel route to Saquon Barkley today. And Cody, I'm going to get to your super chat, by the way. Don't worry, I got you. He mentioned how, he won't get excited about the Saquon Barkley stuff, right? He's not going to allow himself to fall into that trap of just falling in love with talent, because at the end of the day, talent is not enough. Kenny Gainwell, he ran the same play in the open practice, and he executed, right? So in reality, it's not about the talent that's out there. It's about I'm having a Freudian slip here. Excuse me, you guys, had a brain fart. It's about out executing your opponent. I had a little bit of a glitch. I've been having so many thoughts running through my mind. It's always been about out executing the opponent. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter who do you have out there. Did you out execute the opponent? It's as simple as that. So I love what Jalen Hurts had to say today. His press conference wasn't that long, but he set the record straight. Once again, it's not about talent; it's about execution. Moving on, AJ Brown spoke to the media also. He gave credit to Christian Gonzalez for giving him good work, and he was excited about the competition. He even admitted that the offense started off a little slow in one-on-ones, but they picked it up, and they definitely didn't look back. He talked about the Patriots playing a lot of man-to-man coverage, and they really didn't give anything out too complex. It was pretty vanilla, and the goal of today was just to win your matchup. He spoke on cleaning up the mistakes and focusing on the details, and he even defended the rookie Aniyah Smith, the wide receiver that we've been pretty hard on. Aniyah Smith has been struggling, and he spoke up and defended him. He said, look, he'll figure it out. He's a rookie. It's not as bad as everybody making it. He's going to be okay. And he just continues to harp on the fact that execution is going to be why he's going to be okay, right? As long as he keeps executing, he'll be all right. As long as his team continues to execute, they will be all right. And they asked him about Jalen Hurts' performances and all that kind of stuff, and he's not taking the bait. He's not putting too much stock in training camp stats. He's not putting too much stock in Hurts not throwing interceptions. He's not taking the bait on none of that stuff. He's been stressing the fact that practice is practice and that they're trying new things regularly. So there's going to be turnovers. There's not going to be whatever it may be. You can't put too much stock into it. As long as you're taking steps forward, as long as you're being progressive and you're experimenting and you're finding progress, that's all that matters. He says no one is getting too excited about anything. And I respect that and I appreciate that because I think they understand what's really at stake here. They understand that they can't BS this stuff. They understand that it's a lot riding on the season. A lot of money was spent. AJ Brown was given big money, Devontae Smith big money, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata. Obviously, Jalen Hurts signed his contract last offseason. A lot has been put into this roster. They can't afford to rest on their laurels. They got to stay all business. And I appreciate that from AJ Brown. And then finally, Brandon Graham spoke. And it's always fun listening to Brandon Graham because he's always excited when he speaks. There's always this enthusiasm that you always feel like you learn something when he speaks. And he mentioned how, this is obviously the last year. He's super excited about this year. And he's trying to make sure he gives all the young guys as much confidence and information as possible. He doesn't want to hold on to anything. He wants to empty the gas tank. And that's what I'm talking about, right? You got to empty the gas tank with Brandon Graham. You can't hold him back this year. You got to let Brandon Graham do his thing. If he deserves to be on the field, put him on the field. He's also looking forward to watching film as well. He spoke about how the film is really going to allow them to really iron out the details and really iron out the mistakes and the wrinkles to the defense because he wants the defense to be a strong point. He doesn't want the defense to be a weak link, right? He also doesn't want his guys second guessing themselves, even if they make a mistake. He wants these guys to make mistakes with purpose, right? Don't waste time out there. Every split second matters, right? Even if you make a mistake, commit to it. You never know what could happen. Don't hesitate. A split second can be the difference between a win and a loss. So he wants all his guys confident in making clear-cut decisions, regardless if they make the right one or the wrong one. And he gave a lot of credit to his D-line for having a strong day. And he also talked about this building trust. Building trust with his D-line about guys, saying where they're going to be and being where they said they were going to be, right? When guys are rushing the quarterback, it's more than just see ball, get ball. It's there's technique involved and there's responsibilities involved. And he spoke about how he's continuing to build that trust with his D-line, and he's excited about guys like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat and Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, right? And Moro Ujomo and Milton Williams and all those guys, right? And Marlon Tuipulotu and Gabe Hall. He's excited about all those guys. He also showed a lot of love to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He spoke about him being X-Man Jr. and his work ethic and the performance and just his patience with his development, right? He spoke about how the game is really slowing down for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And he also gave credit to Jalen Hurts, for having just a new perspective, a new outlook, and enthusiasm for the 2024 season. A lot of people, gave Jalen Hurts grief last season, and he's really proud of Jalen Hurts for just keeping his head down, working hard, and just locking in with the preparation. Being enthusiastic about what's going on. So yeah, overall, you guys, today was a good day. Today was a good day for the Philadelphia Eagles. The offense really did well. The defense did well, all things considered. You saw some uniqueness with the offense in terms of motion and all that kind of stuff. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith dominate as usual. Saquon Barkley had a good day. The D-line had a really good day. The Eagles offensive line obviously had a good day. Quinyon Mitchell had a good day as well. Cooper DeJean is back and healthy. They're bringing him along slowly. I don't think Cooper DeJean will play this game on Thursday against the Patriots. I think he'll definitely play the following week. That's my honest assessment of that. And thank you, Cody, so much for your donation, my friend. I really do appreciate you, my guy. Like Cody said, so like and subscribe. Subscribe and like. You know what I mean? I mentioned that, my job is to give you guys, the info and give you guys my perspective, my energy, my passion. That's my responsibility. Your responsibility, hit that like button. Make sure you stay engaged in the content and also to subscribe, right? And share it as well, right? That's your responsibility. And I'm so grateful for you guys for living up to expectations. It means a lot to me. So thank you, Cody, for donating to the channel. I really do appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Check O, for donating to the channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Rufus, for donating twice to the channel. That goes a long way. Thank you, Daniel Bigelow, for donating. I really do appreciate you, my friend. And thank you to Mom Dukes for donating the biggest super chat of the day, $19.99. Mom, thank you so much. Thank you to my father. Thank you to my brother. Thank you to my wife, most importantly, man. Thank you to my wife for constantly motivating me every single day to be the best version of myself when it comes to this content stuff. My wife is awesome. Every time I finish a live stream, me and her game plan, we talk about the analytics. We talk about what we can do. Me and her go to the post office every week, making sure we get those gifts sent out for the giveaways, man. We're going to be doing another giveaway this week, by the way. So make sure you guys stay locked in on the live streams. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be live every day this week. You don't want to miss it. Okay? So make sure you guys are tuned in because we're doing another giveaway this week. Our last giveaway winner was Thomas Adams, aka Bold Brew. He's holding it down in Philadelphia. Thomas, or should I say Bold Brew? Bold Brew, your gift should be there by Wednesday. I sent you a screenshot actually of that information today, detailing the tracking number and the date it should be there. Also, I want to give a shout out to my previous giveaway winners, Mark Johnson. Shout out to the good brother Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson won that Kelly Green Eagles snapback. Mark Johnson is holding it down on the West Coast in California. Shout out to Mark Johnson. And then shout out to Keisha White. Keisha White is holding it down in the Southeast in Miami. Shout out to Keisha White holding it down in Miami. She won that Eagles hat right there. As you guys can see on the box from Chalk It Up Sports. I take my giveaways very seriously. So shout out to Keisha White for being a loyal supporter and subscriber to the show. And also shout out to Jameer Adams. Jameer Adams holding it down on the East Coast in Connecticut. Jameer Adams won that Eagles hat as well. So shout out to all my giveaway winners. Shout out to my future giveaway winners. Shout out to people who donate to the channel. It means a lot to me, you guys. So, this content game, you guys are the lifeblood. You guys are the fuel, the food to this channel. Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys check out the Chalk It Up Sports merch shop. As you guys can see, I am wearing one of the shirts here, the Jalen Hurts Apex shirt, the Jalen Hurts Apex Predator shirt. As you guys can see, the fabric feels great on the skin, you guys. It's the oversized fit. So it gives you that streetwear style, that that modern look. You feel what I'm saying? The artwork, the graphics blend so well into the fabric. You know, the graphic, the artwork is not hard. You know, you ever buy a shirt or get a shirt made where the artwork or the graphic is like really hard, you know, it's like really stiff. This is really, really flexible. You know what I mean? The artwork blends really well. It feels so good on the skin, you guys. So make sure you bless yourself right there. It comes in 2 colorways. It comes in black, the one I'm wearing right now, and it also comes in eucalyptus, otherwise known as tan to some people, depending on if you see colors differently. So just make sure you guys bless yourself with that. It means a lot to me what you got. It means a lot to me when you guys donate to the channel, when you guys invest in me, when you guys interact with the giveaways. All that stuff is so dope to me because it just shows that I'm doing something right and that we're building something special here. So I really do appreciate you guys for really, really locking in on the content and just being dope individuals, man. It means a lot. So also, before I get out of here, wow. Okay, real quick, you guys. Shout out to my man Davon Tyree with the $1.99 donation. Davon, thank you so much, my man. He says top 5 offense, Tone. Go Birds. That's big facts. We coming for blood, man. We gonna be top 5. Hey, Antonio, did you get your shirt yet? Let me know, Antonio. Did you get your shirt yet? Because even when I ordered my shipment, right, it took about 2 weeks or a week and a half. It took some time for mine to get here too. So let me know if you got your shirt yet, Antonio. Because every shirt is made to order. Every shirt is made individually. So it takes a couple weeks for it to get to you, right? I use Teespring as Teespring powers my store. So Teespring, they pretty much handle the entire transactional process. So that's why it takes a couple weeks to get to you because every shirt is made to order. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of Teespring before. So thank you guys for always locking on the content. Davon, again, thank you for your donation, my friend. Private McClunky with the $19.99 donation. McClunky, thank you so much, my friend. Let me make sure I give you your wrench, my guy. You are in the live stream every single day, showing love, giving your sports takes, adding to the show. Means a lot to me, man. It means the world to me. So just know all you guys are appreciated. You guys are valued. You guys are loved here, man. Truly, 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 man. You guys have been hitting that like button. You guys have been active. So I'm about to get out of here. Man, oh man. Antonio says, I'm going on my cruise. I can't wait to wear my Apex t-shirt. Man, it's gonna look good, man. Cody said, I'm ordering Apex shirts for my whole staff, LOL, using store funds to support Tone. That's fly, man. That's fly. That's dope, man. That's dope, bro. That's dope, man. I would appreciate that. So I really do. Okay, Antonio says not yet. Okay, it'll be there. When'd you order it, Antonio? When'd you order it? So I can compare to when I order mine. When'd you order it? When did you order it? Let me see. Let me see here. All right, so okay, so okay, so yeah, I had ordered mine on. I ordered my shirt on July 17th, and it got to me. I want to say, where's that calendar at? I think it got to me August 1st. When did I drop the merch? I can't remember. When did I drop that merch? Let me see. Let me see. So I think I dropped that merch on August 1st. So yeah, it took about 2 weeks to get to me. Yeah. I ordered mine on the 17th of July, and it got to me August 1st. So yeah, it takes about 2 weeks to get to you, my friend. As a matter of fact, Antonio, can you do me a favor? Can you tell me in your confirmation email? Can you tell me in your confirmation email what's the projected delivery date? Antonio, you should have got a confirmation email when you ordered your shirt. Can you tell me the projected delivery date? I want to know real quick because it always gives you an estimated arrival date. So Antonio, before I get out of here, check that out for me real quick, okay? Hail Times 2 says, great stuff. Enjoyed your chat with a cold bear in Scotland. Man, that's fly. Yo, what time is it in Scotland, man? You in Scotland, bro? What time is it right now? What time is it in Scotland? Madness says, respect, Tone. Great stuff today, man. I appreciate you. Kyle Kokorski says, Tone, last time I was on a cruise, I was partying with some honeys. Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. But yeah, man, it's going to be a dope season. 2340 hours. What is that? Okay. Oh, 11:40 p.m. Oh, wow. Damn, it's almost midnight, bro. Man. That's crazy. But yeah, you guys, it's going to be a hell of a season. Real quick, again, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's donated to the channel. I want to give a shout out to Private McClunky for donating $19.99. Like he said, charge it to the game, baby. I want to give a shout out to Davon Tyree for donating as well. I appreciate him. I appreciate Cody for donating $2. Again, Davon Tyree donated $1.99. Cody donated $2. Checo donated $4.99. Rufus donated $10 between two different super chats. So shout out to him. Daniel Bigelow donated $5. My mother, Carolyn Palmer donated $19.99. So I really do appreciate you guys for donating to the channel. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, Antonio, check your email for me, okay? You should have got a confirmation email. If I really want to know what your estimated time is, because mine, when I ordered mine on the 17th, it said my estimated arrival date was July 29th, between July 29th and August 1st. And I just want to make sure your shirt is still on track. That's all. Davon Tyree says that wheel route was nasty by Saquon. Yeah, it was. Trevor McClunky also says, Tone, I don't know if you talked about it yesterday, but did you hear CJ called out Anaya Smith yesterday and he yelled, he ain't did Ishal Camp? Hey, listen, man, keeping that pressure on. I ain't mad at it. Oh, he said it 3 times? Shh. Hey, GJ, he holding people to the fire. I ain't mad at it. At all. My man BG31 is in the building. BG was good. Really appreciate you guys for showing love. Antonio Holmes says Thursday. Okay, so there we go. Bet. So Antonio, you should be getting your shirt by Thursday. There we go. Sounds good, my man. See, my biggest concern was I wanted it to get there before you went on your cruise. I was nervous. Antonio, when you told me you was going on a cruise, I was like, I hope it get there before his cruise, man. I was praying it got there before your cruise. All right. So now that I know that, feels good. So basically, yeah, it takes about 2 weeks to get to you guys. Just to give you some reference, I ordered mine. I ordered my shipment July 17th, and it got to me by August 1st or July 31st, or whatever. So there you have it, you guys. There you have it. All right. We're going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all so much. You guys know what it is. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you, hold on one second, you guys. Sorry. My man S. Blunt says, Tone, celebrate the small victories. 5K subs, big dog, one day at a time. Big facts, man. I'm so grateful to you guys for always investing in the channel. Thank y'all for helping me get to this 5,000 subscriber benchmark, this mile marker. You guys are the reason why we're here. And I couldn't have done it without y'all. This is for us. So like I always say, you guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Make sure you stay active and stay engaged. Thank you so much for everybody who watched the live stream after the fact. It means a lot to me, you guys. Make sure you stay humble, stay healthy, and stay hungry. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II, a.k.a. Mr. 5K. And you guys have been locked in on a Tuesday dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.